You want to be the CEO, but you don't have a single marketable skill. You are obsessing over logos, LLC names, and building your brand, but you are broke. You're not building a business. You are playing pretend. And the militaries, a private who put on a general's uniform isn't a leader. He's a target. And right now, you're trying to skip the work and jump straight to the title. A business requires more skill than a job, not less. So stop LARPing, live action role-playing, and start training. By the end of this video, you will have the Mercenary Apprenticeship Protocol. You will stop bleeding money on ideas you're not ready for. You will get paid to learn, and you will stack real skill so that when you finally do launch, you don't just survive, you dominate. I wasted years trying to skip the line. When I was younger, all I wanted was to be my own boss, run my own thing, answer to nobody. I thought the goal was to get out of the employee box as fast as possible. So I tried starting businesses before I was ready. I had ideas I was convinced were brilliant, spent money I didn't have, made plans that went nowhere. And I kept failing. Not dramatic, public failures, just quiet ones. Ideas that fizzle, projects that never launch, money that disappear. For the longest time, I blamed the market. I blamed timing. I blamed bad luck. But eventually, I had to face the truth. I didn't have any real skill. I had ambition, but no weapons. I was trying to win a fight I wasn't equipped for. The turning points came when I stopped trying to be the general and accept that I needed to be a soldier first. When I was a young Army officer, I didn't walk into the motor pool and start barking orders at combat veterans. I would have been laughed at out of the buildings. I had to earn the right to lead, through trainings, through learning, through proving myself. Later, when I hired buyers at Raytheon, I didn't care about anyone's $1 million idea. The only thing I care about are their skill stack. Could they negotiate contracts, analyze costs, handle supplier dispute? If you don't have skill, you don't have leverage. You are negotiating from zero. And that's exactly where I was for way too long. That's what I teach now. Not how to start a business, but how to actually become dangerous first. You're going to shift your mindset from founder to mercenary. Stop thinking about what company you want to build and start thinking about what skill you need to acquire first. Here's are the 3-phase Mercenary Apprenticeship Protocol. Phase 1, weapon system check. Before you go into battle, you need to check your weapons rack. So let's do an honest inventory. What skill do you actually have that someone would pay you money for it? Not skill you're interested in learning. Not skill you have watched YouTube videos about. Skill you can deploy right now to generate values. Can you sell? Can you write copies that convert? Can you build systems that scale? Can you run paid ads profitably? Can you code? Can you manage operations? Be brutally honest. If your answer is not really to all of these, your weapons rack is empty. You're going into battle with a stick. Here's the tactic, the zero asset audit. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you can't point to a specific skill that could generate $10,000 a month for a company, you are not an entrepreneur. You're just unemployed with a dream. And that's okay, if you're willing to fix it. The action. Pick one weapon, just one. Not 5, not 3, 1. The heavy weapons are sales. The ability to close, to persuade, to handle objection, and to convert stranger into customer. Copywriting. The ability to write words that make people take action. Emails, advertisement, landing pages. Operations. The ability to build system, manage logistics, make things run efficiently. These are the skills that actually make business work. Everything else, branding, social media, content strategy, is secondary. Pick one weapon and master it until you are dangerous. Ignore everything else for now. You can diversify later. Right now, you need to become lethal with one thing. Phase 2. Establish a FOB, a forward operating base. Phase 2 is about finding your training ground. Most people think they need to pay $50,000 for a degree to learn business, or drop thousands on courses and mastermind. That is completely backward. Don't pay for a course. Get paid to take one. The best education in the world is working inside a business that actually is winning, while someone else takes all the risks. Here's the tactic. Infiltrate a warlord. Don't join a dying corporation where you push paper for 40 years and learn nothing. Find a warlord, a founder who's aggressively winning in a high-growth sector. Here's some examples, like tech sales, solar, e-commerce, logistics, SaaS. Find someone who's in the trenches scaling something real. Apply for the grunt role, the entry position, the things your ego doesn't want to do. Here's some examples. Cold caller, appointment settler, junior copywriter, sales development rep, operation assistant. The goal is to get in the door, get close to the action. The spy mindset. Here's the mental shift that changed everything. You are not an employee. You are a spy behind enemy lines. You are not there to climb the corporate ladder. You're there to steal the playbook. Here's the action, the black book. Keep a physical notebook. Every single day, write down everything you observe. How do they sell? What's the script? What objection come up? How do they hire? What do they look for? How do they handle problems, fires, difficult customer? What software do they use? What system keep things running? Where are they weak? What would you do differently? You are documenting their entire operation while collecting their paychecks. You are getting paid to go to the best business school that exists, real-world experience. And that's the mercenary way. Learn on someone else's dime. Stack skill on someone else's risk. Phase 3. Volume fires. Phase 3 is where you harden your armor. In combat, volume negates luck. In business, volume negates ignorance. You learn by doing a lot. Here's the tactic, the 100 rep rule. You are not at this job to be comfortable. You are not there to coast. You are there to put in massive reps and accelerate your learning. If you're in sales, make 100 calls a day. If you're writing copies, write 100 headlines a week. If you're in operations, document 100 processes. Get rejected, get hung up on, get told no, get your work torn apart, get yelled at by customers. This is your basic training. Most people avoid this because it's uncomfortable. They make 10 calls, get discouraged, and quit. They write one piece of copy, get no response, and decided this doesn't work. That's why most people stay broke. Here's what the volume is actually doing for you. You are hardening your psychological armor. You are learning what works and what doesn't fast. You are burning through the failures rep that everyone else has to go through, but you're doing it on someone else's lead, someone else's reputation, someone else's money. If you can't handle a stranger hanging up on you when you're an employee, how are you going to handle a client suing you when you're the CEO? How are you going to handle a product launch that flops, a partnership that falls apart? You are not ready for that. Not yet. So use this time to get ready. You need to burn the reps now so you don't burn your own money later. I want you to stop Googling business ideas. No, seriously, close that tab. It's a trap. Instead, I want you to go to LinkedIn and search for sales job, SDR, or self-development rep roles, commission-based position. Find a role where you eat what you kill, where your income is directly tied to your performance. Here's the challenge. Put yourself in a position where if you don't perform, you don't eat. That's the only way to test if your sword is actually sharp. That's the only way to know if you are ready. A general is just a soldier who survived 20 years of war. You don't get to skip the world. You don't get to fast forward to the title, the skill, the judgment, the instinct. Those only come from time in the trenches. So stop trying to shortcut your way to the top. Stop playing business. Stop LARPing as an entrepreneur while having nothing to offer. Go earn your stripes. Get a job that teaches you something real. Stack skill. Fill your weapons rack. Document everything. Put in the reps. And when you got a real skill stack, when you actually know how to create values, then you launch. Then you build. And you'll build something that actually works because you know what you're doing. That's the path. That is the protocol. I want to know who's ready to stop playing and start training. Comment Mercenary below if you're done with daydreaming and ready to get in the trenches. If you're ready to stack skill before you stack businesses. Now, I want to see who's serious. And if this was the wake-up call you needed. If you have been playing business and you know it, hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. We are building a community of people who are willing to do the work most people won't, so they can get the life most people can't. And your support helped this reach someone else who need to hear this. And there are a lot of us out there LARPing right now who need to hear this message. Stop playing, start training. Force strong and thrive on friends.